All right, yeah. So this video is about making lists in HTML using we'll use an HTML, right? Yeah. Okay. So what's a list? Well, it's like a list, really. So it's like a bunch of things in a column that have something in common. Okay. Yeah. So in HTML, some stuff that looks like a list might be something else. In HTML, like lists are a kind of formatting, a system that causes things to look a certain way, making it look like let's take a look at some examples, okay? That'll make more sense, right? Yeah. Here's a list. Here's a bunch of presidents in a list, and notice that they're numbered and they're kind of sequential, and these happen to have links on them also. That's kind of cool. Yeah. All right. Here's another list of reasons why I couldn't do my homework. Yeah. All right. There's 10 of them, and they're listed in order, and they're numbered, and that's a kind of a list. Here's another kind of list, and these are not numbered. These are other lists where there's just a bunch of like bullet points next to it, and they're linked, and there's actually a sub-list inside of each list, and that works. Yeah. Here's another list of bullet points. This is an unordered list. So, oh, wait a minute. Hold on a sec. I know, this looks like a list. It looks like a list of World Series winners over time. But in terms of HTML in your browser, this is not a list, babies. This is something completely else. This is actually what we call a table, which we're not going to talk about today. Yeah, same thing here. We got a bunch of lists. It looks like a list of stuff. But for a browser, this is not a list, right? And again, this is not a list. This is called a table. So they made a list, but for a browser, this is not what we call a list, boys and girls. Yeah. So there's kinds of lists, right, for different stuff. We already showed some examples. And an ordered list is one that's got numbers in it or sequential lettering or some way that we can see that stuff's in order in a certain like 1, 2, 3 or A, B, C, The order of things may or may not be important, but you got some numbers in there anyways or letters. And they can include other lists inside lists. And then unordered list is kind of like the one we're showing here. This is an unordered list. And it just shows a list with no apparent order, sequence, or hierarchy. Like it's not organized, right? These may be signified by bullet points, that little dot you see over there. Yeah, that's an unordered list. And they may have other lists inside of them. Yeah. Okay, so the code to make a list is pretty easy. It's just a couple little pieces. And like if you're doing an ordered list, you use OL. That's these tags right here. And there's got to be a pair of them, and they wrap around your entire contents of your list. OL and /OL, yeah? Then there's the unordered list kind for like if there's bullet points, and there's an opening tag and a closing tag. And then you got your list items, man. For each piece in the list, you got to put LI and /LI to separate the pieces of the list, yeah? And then at the end, when you get with all your list pieces, you got to remember to put your end tag, unless you did that at the beginning, which is what you ought to be doing anyways. Here's an ordered list example for the code, yeah? And right here, you got your opening tag and your closing tag, and then each of the list items has a LI and a /LI, and that's the whole thing. And it looks out like this. This is the top 3 mobile phones by sales in 2012. Samsung, yeah. There's a list, and there you have it. And you could put links on those or pictures or whatever you want. Yeah. Okay, unordered list. Notice here's my example down here. Just a bullet point, not in any particular order. Some of my favorite cartoons, babies. Yeah. So here we have the unordered list, opening tag, and the unordered list, closing tag, and each item. Hey, you know what? That is the same exact tag as you have in the ordered list. Look at that, LI and /LI. It works in both kinds. That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, I do. So how hard is that, man? Really? I mean, try it out. Take a couple examples here. Make one that's a list of your, let's see. Make the code for an unordered list of the 3 most annoying people on TV from this century, since maybe that's all you can remember, okay? And then make an ordered list with numbers and letters or whatever. Numbers is usually the easiest one. And you're going to use your 3 favorite songs with who sings them. Go ahead and give it a try. Yeah.